welcome to Better Than Yesterday. So in today's video I'm talking about 4 keys for being productive, and the reason why I'm talking about this in today's episode is because I myself am heading back into university now. I've been on holiday for the last far too long, and I'm looking forward to actually getting back into my routine of being productive. And towards the end of last year, and in fact for most of last year, I found it was one of my most productive years, and it's simply because of a few of these steps that I implemented on a very consistent basis throughout the year. So yeah, I'm heading back into that now. I've got university starting back up, work starting back up. I want to get back into the gym. The time for relaxing and having fun and going on holiday, which was necessary and needed, is over now, and I'm looking forward, just to getting back into that routine. So, there's a YouTuber that I watch, and there's one thing that he always says about being productive, and I honestly can't agree with him more, and it's come to play in my own life. And it's the fact that for you to be at your most productive, you have to have a very good mental health. So if your mental health is currently in a low position, I think back to when I was at my lowest, when my mental health was just all over the place and I had brain fog, I was overthinking things on a continual basis. That was when I was getting almost nothing done, and I was just, only able to indulge in short-term gratification things and instant gratification, and I wasn't able to do anything productive because it just didn't provide me with a hit of dopamine fast enough, and I just felt so down and so low. So the thing is with mental health is it's something that you can work on. Mental health is something you have to take care of, and to be productive, your mental health has to be in a good space because you won't have that brain fog, you won't be overthinking. Those are 2 things that lead to absolutely no productivity. So to improve your mental health, to have a good mental health, these are a few things that I've been putting into practice which have really helped to keep my brain clear of the fog and overthinking. And the first one is meditation. So meditation can look like a few different things for a lot of people. I think oftentimes when you hear the word, you think to those monks that stay up in the mountains and they're sitting like this, but it's not necessarily always like that. Meditation can just be you slowing down your brain and mind for a few minutes a day, and whether it be spending some time in prayer, whether it be spending some time just being mindful, and that is where you are just sitting still and just, instead of thinking about, the million things that we all have to think about in our day, you could just zero in on one small thing, thinking about the fact that here I am in this room, and it's made of walls that are painted, in a white lilac color, You can break things down into so many different ways, and the fact that you zero in and you start to focus on one small thing instead of your brain being all over the place, it allows your brain to clear up so much. So meditation is very important for your mental health. Check it out, do some research. I'm sure you maybe know already about it. So spend some time doing some meditation. That'll improve your mental health a lot. Another thing is doing exercise, hitting the gym, going for a run, keeping your body in a state where it does have activity at least once every day is so important for your mental health. It just allows you to feel productive. First of all, that is a productive thing to do, is hitting the gym, going and doing some exercise. That is an essential part of being productive, but not only that, it improves your mental health, which is the most important part for being productive. Another thing is reading books, reading the Bible, journaling, these kind of things. I'm going to get onto it a bit more in the final step, but I think that reading and journaling honestly also just allow your brain to slow down for a second, and that just allows your mental health to improve so much. I think we live in this world where we're always on the go and things are coming at us so fast, and oftentimes that's why our mental health deteriorates, because we never take that time to slow down. So these are just more things that you can do to slow down. Final point of this mental health thing is deleting social media. Social media, again, just adds that brain fog because you're constantly thinking of that story that you watched, where you saw that person you used to be friends with, and they're hanging out with this person that you don't like, and then all of a sudden you're starting to feel down because of it. So social media oftentimes just adds to poor mental health. It very rarely actually improves your mental health. There are things like YouTube, and you're watching this video right now, so obviously there are some ways and some specific social media platforms such as YouTube, which oftentimes are better, but scrolling on TikTok and Instagram and even YouTube Shorts, these kind of quick hits, and just in general, I've deleted social media. You would have seen that video that I went to Namibia, didn't have social media at all during that time, and I've subsequently don't have social media again right now, and my mental health has improved quite a bit. I just have less brain fog than I did before. So yeah, 100%. Deleting social media is a good one. So the second point, once you've cleared up your mental health, I spent quite a lot of time talking about it, but I think it's just very, very important, and that's why I really dove into it there. It's just in terms of being productive, mental health is very important. But the second one, we're going to get through them, is having a clean environment around you. So, oftentimes you look at your workspace, whether you work from home in your room. For myself, that's how it is when I do university. I do it here in this room, and I find that I can never be productive when I haven't made my bed, when there's stuff lying all over the place. You just end up, you feel like you're just this gross pig, and oftentimes it's easy to let things slip, and all of a sudden your workspace just looks disgusting. You've got a plate that you were eating from yesterday, and then your coffee mug from this morning, and then pieces of paper lying around that you were using earlier. But take some time every day to clean up your workspace, and that does help you to be so much more productive. Jordan B. Peterson says, set your own house in order before you can criticize the world. So, and it's a good point. And also, what he says is the fact that, how can we take on the world if our own environment around us, isn't conducive for that kind of thing. So you have to create an environment around you that is conducive to you being productive. So if your environment is just full of, like I said, old dishes lying around and, just messy, it's not going to be conducive to you being productive. But if you make things, easy to get work done, and there's not stuff in your way, and your environment is clean and neat, it genuinely does help you be so much more productive. I try to keep my desk as neat as possible, especially when I am back up with university and that kind of thing. You have to make sure that you are keeping your environment as clean as possible on a regular basis, so at least weekly. Make sure everything's in place again. And then, the third point that I want to make is countering, the word has escaped me now, but it is procrastination. Procrastination, how to counter procrastination. So I think my generation, and maybe every generation, we really struggle with procrastination. It's just a very difficult thing to counter, but the way that I countered it last year, and how I'm going to continue to do it, is the fact that you just need to take the smallest step towards your goal right now. So let's say your goal is, today I want to start working on my project for university, or today, I want to start developing the idea behind my new business that I'm starting. Well, take the smallest step towards that right now. Sometimes that can seem like this big task. Maybe it's a big project that takes many hours, and maybe to come up with an idea is going to take a lot of brainstorming. But the first thing that you can do is just open up your laptop and start doing some research. And that's the first step that you can do right now. Is just even creating that document that has your name and the project name and everything in there. That's the first step. Create that, get that done. Then open up a tab on Google. What's the next smallest step that you can do? Open up the tab on Google. Okay, do that. And then type in the topic that you need to research, and those are the smallest steps. Just get your brain moving, and once you start to compartmentalize the massive thing that you have in front of you, you can actually start to get it done. And I think that's why it comes back to overthinking, is the fact that we spend so much time overthinking and thinking, oh, this is so big, how am I going to get this done? But if you just break it down to that smallest step, you'll start being productive, you'll start getting onto that thing. So, very important. And my final point that I want to make is the fact that to be at your most productive self, you need to draw close to God. And I've found this in my own life, is that when you are closest to your Creator, and when you are, there's this song that we used to sing when we were kids, and it says, read your Bible, pray every day. And that's honestly, if you're doing those two things, like I said, in your life, it improves your mental health so much. It gets rid of brain fog, overthinking, and it just allows you, frees you up, puts you in the right mental and head space to be a productive person and to be your most productive self. So draw close to God, whether that be spending a few minutes with Him in prayer every day or reading your Bible. Just draw close to Him, spend some time in community with God, and that'll honestly allow you to be much better than if you're not. I often find whenever I draw distant from God and I'm not doing those things in my everyday life, things just start to fall apart. So that is my final tip, guys. I hope that these have been valuable to you in your quest to find productivity and to be productive. So I'm gonna be implementing these, and I hope you will be too. But thanks so much for listening to another episode of Better Than Yesterday. If you did enjoy what you heard and what you saw, please consider liking and subscribing to this channel. And we're going to be doing lots of cool things moving forward. Daniel and I are working on lots of projects and content for you guys, and we want to just keep taking this channel further up and further up. So thanks so much for listening. Much love and peace out from Better Than Yesterday.